Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Accessoire new model in the Monogram canvas. This has been the perfect weekend bag. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your workout, let's go to work. Whatever it is that you do, come join me because we have some awesome topics to cover. Starting with the first one from Aileen Morira, hopefully I said that correctly. Would you buy a pre-loved Chanel from a prestigious website even if it did not come with the authenticity card? This is a wonderful, wonderful question. And there's a few things to take into consideration. I think that as much as I would like to say, yes, it wouldn't be a problem, I think that in my heart of hearts, it would drive me crazy. It really would. The only time I might make an exception if it's something that I've been really wanting to add to my collection for a very long time. And of course, going the pre-loved route, you're able to save some money. So that's always that's always a major positive. And if it's a bag that you think that you might end up keeping, you know, maybe not necessarily a forever bag, but a bag that you think that you foresee yourself using for many, many years, then I think that I'd be okay with it. At the same time, if it doesn't come with a box, it's not really a make or break for me. If it doesn't come with the dust bag, that's not really a make or breaker for me. But when we're talking about an authenticity card, I feel like that's such a, I feel like it's such an important part, that kind of like an important marriage that comes with the item that you're purchasing. And I don't know if it's just me and it makes me feel a little bit better. To each their own. I'm not trying to put down anyone who's ever purchased an item pre-loved that doesn't come with the authenticity card. Louis Vuitton items don't come with authenticity cards. Chanel items do. You know, but it's all a matter of personal preference. And like I said in the beginning, I think that as much as I would like to say it wouldn't be a problem, I would make exceptions only because of what I said earlier. And if it's an item that I do like, maybe not necessarily a forever item, then I always think about the resale on the item, because I feel that when items don't come with authenticity cards, they might be a little bit harder to sell in the future, because again, I feel that a lot of people end up appreciating the fact that it comes with more of the original paperwork. And it doesn't necessarily, you know, like I said, the item doesn't have to come with a receipt. It doesn't have to come with, I mean, the receipt is always a nice bonus, am I right? It doesn't have to come with a box. It doesn't have to come with those things. But when it's about Chanel, I feel that, for me anyways, it's imperative for it to come with an authenticity card. But like I said, I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad by any means whatsoever. Whatever ends up working out for you, ends up working out for you. But these are just, you know, these are just my thoughts, and hopefully that was able to help. But I will have to say, whether it comes with an authenticity card or not, whether it's, you know, whether it comes with the original paperwork and all the bells and whistles or not, it's all a matter of what makes your heart sing. If the bag is just, it just makes you so happy and you're just like, oh my goodness, I want to add it to my collection, it's perfect, it's beautiful, then go for it. Because in the end, that is all that matters. It's not the resale value, it's not what it comes with, it's the fact that it makes your heart sing. So hopefully that was able to help. Next question from Ms. Cosmo XX. Whenever I shop for luxury goods, almost always the sales associates say that the item is the only stock they have. I don't believe them because I feel they're just too lazy to check if they have the item in stock or if they want to sell you the old stock / display item they have. What tip can you give us so we don't fall for their last stock trap? Thanks. This is a great question, and whenever I have been into the boutique or the store and I'm looking at an item, and if it has a lot of stains, if it has a lot of this or scratches or whatever it is, that doesn't end up working out for me, and if it is the last one in stock, almost always I will ask the sales associate if they can please transfer in another one, or if I can order another one. And for the most part, the sales associates that I have, I've had some amazing ones where they're very accommodating. They will be more than happy to have one transferred in from another boutique, or they'll get one from the warehouse. And usually they'll say, what is it that you see on this one that you don't like about it? And I'll tell them, oh, it has scratches on the hardware, a little too much for my taste, or it has a stain, or has this, or whatever it is. And, you know, sometimes I'll point something out that they're able to buff out in the store and it ends up working out. But I know exactly what you're talking about, because I have also had some sales associates that, you know, they're kind of trying to push, you know, it's the last one. I mean, that's all there is. There's no more in the company. There's no more of that. And they're just trying to push the item so hard. When they do that, if I tell them about the stain, or if I tell them about whatever is going on, and I know some people might think that I'm being such a diva, but the way that I look at it is that whenever I buy something at a store, whenever, I don't care if it's a stick of gum. I don't care if it's a $4,000 handbag or whatever it is. I want to feel really good about my purchase when I walk out. I want to be able to say, okay, this is it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to use it. Because like I said, I've seen those sales associates, or I've kind of run into those sales associates that are just so adamant about selling that last one. And I've pointed out, I kind of derailed off what I was saying, but when I point out the stains or when I point out the mark, they'll say, oh, that's the way they are because they're handmade. I get that excuse a lot, and I'll say, well, that just doesn't work for me. It doesn't make me, it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't make my heart sing. And I always say that, whatever makes your heart sing, because I feel that it's true, at least for me anyways. But they'll say, oh, it's part of the leather. That's just the way that it is. Or the more that you wear it, this stain will end up going away. And I'm thinking, if the stain is already there on a brand new bag, it's going to get worse the more and more that you use it. So, they'll say, I'll say, can you order another one for me? And I've gotten answers like, what was it? What do I get? I get things like, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to get it. I have no idea, because they're so popular. They're highly sought after, and I don't know if I'll be able to get you one. And if I do, it might be 3 or 4 weeks. And when they say that, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And they'll say, you really don't mind waiting 4 weeks? Well, no, not at all. If it's something that I really like, if it's something that I've had on my wish list or something that I've been looking at for a while, then I'll say, yeah, absolutely, I don't mind waiting. And I just feel that when they they continue pushing the whole, it's the last one, it's the last one. I remember vividly, I was talking to a sales associate, I'm not going to say what store, and she was saying, it's the last one, if you want it, you got to get it now, even if it has a little stain. You could just kind of wear it this way, put it on the backside. And I looked at her and I said, I don't care if it's the last one or if it's the only one ever made. It just doesn't work for me. It doesn't make me happy. And sometimes I feel like that would be settling. Just because I want the bag that bad, I'm not going to take it if it has, a beauty mark. I want to give the beauty marks to the item. I want to be the one that screws up the patina or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So I always ask for another one if they don't have something in the store, if they can transfer it in. And if it's the case that I can no longer get it and it has a stain, then I will absolutely pass on it. This is just these are just my 2 cents. It's whatever ends up working out for everyone else. To each their own. I'm not one to judge, but I won't do it, especially when they're trying to be so pushy about an item. It doesn't work for me. So hopefully that was able to help. Next question from Betty Cape. In your past videos, years ago, I've been watching you for quite some time, thank you, you would have no takes, no editing, now you do. What's changed? I love this question. I have gotten it quite a few times, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I don't know what it is, to be honest, but I've noticed that and I even say this on some of my videos, sometimes I kind of go on tangents. I end up just rambling about something. I can talk about bags, I can talk about shoes for like eons, I could talk about it for years. And I've noticed that sometimes when I'm talking about a product or when I'm talking about an item, I talk about it so much that I end up looping right back to the beginning and what I started to say. So that's why I have so many takes and so many edits. I just keep going. And I really, really want to do the strip down challenge. Hold on, before it's not what you think. The strip down challenge on YouTube is when you have no makeup on, and I think you end up setting up the camera for like 10 or 20 minutes and you talk. There's no editing, no nothing. I want to do that so you guys so you guys can see the absolute, the lunacy that I have. But I was looking at some of my older videos, like from when I first started, and I would talk for like 20, 30 minutes, no problem. But I noticed that I kept going back to the beginning. So I don't know, I gotta be a little bit more direct. So hopefully I was able to answer your question. Next one from Luigi Cortez. What are your thoughts on the keep balls made of leather? Do you think that they are worth the price? Love this question. And as many of you know, when it comes to keep balls, I am a big fan of them, whether they are the leather ones, whether they are the canvas ones. I just cannot deny a good keep ball. And what I do appreciate about the leather keep balls is the fact that you don't have to worry about any type of vachetta. You don't have to worry about any type of water stains or anything like that. They're a little bit more carefree in that sense. But at the same time, even though they are made out of exquisite leather, I mean, they have great quality, I personally tend to kind of shy away from them for a few different reasons. Because even though it is soft-sided luggage, most people end up using it for travel. And I just think of the wear that it'll end up getting, I think of the wear that it'll end up getting if, you know, if it's stuffed into a compartment, if it's kind of thrown around when you're traveling or anything like that. And I feel that because of that, like I said, the wear I think might be a little bit more noticeable. Plus, they are extremely expensive. So for me, I can't justify spending that much money if it's going to end up having a lot of wear. So like I said, I mostly tend to use my keep balls strictly for travel. So I would much rather end up going for a canvas keep ball because they end up being half the price, and the canvas itself, it's still pretty, you know, it's still pretty sturdy. And even though, like for example, this is the Monogram Keep All 45 Bandolier, you will end up seeing the vachetta has a few stains, it has watermarks, kind of like you could see on the bottom. But I just feel that, you know, it's part of the character because it is a soft-sided luggage piece. So it'll end up having that, and sometimes they end up having little white marks. They get little white marks on the monogram, I've noticed. But you know, it doesn't bother me. But if I was to spend a significant amount on a leather keep all, I think that I would be a little bit more paranoid. And we all know how paranoid I get when it comes to, you know, taking care of certain items. So it wouldn't be for me, but I do appreciate them. I think they are absolutely gorgeous. The leather ones are just exquisite. And, you know, unfortunately they're not for me, but you know, to each their own. And if that's what makes your heart sing, that's all that matters. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, next question from Beautiful Kiss 21100. How do you feel about buying a bag that's going to be discontinued? Is it worth it? For example, if you were to buy the Favorite MM. If a bag was going to be discontinued and it's been on my wish list for a while, it's something that I really wanted to get, of course it would push me to buy it sooner. But I wouldn't, personally, I wouldn't end up buying a bag just because it's discontinued. The bag has to be, or the item has to be something that ends up working out for my lifestyle. And it has to be something that I know I can end up rotating throughout my collection. But I won't end up buying something just because it's discontinued. It's just not for me. So, you know, now I feel that the older I get, the more I zero in on my collection. It has to be something that I know will end up working out. You know what I mean? So hopefully that was able to help. All right, next question from Desiree, KP, and Minnie Mazumdar. They had similar questions. I saw a photo from the Louis Vuitton 2018 Cruise collection that looked like a mono Speedy with black trim. Can you confirm this? I'm about to lose my mind. Great question. And I did watch the cruise runway show. It was amazing. The location was absolutely beautiful, and they had so many vibrant colors that I really, really appreciated. And I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, there is a Speedy that had the black trim. So it was monogram. It had the black trim. And I remember seeing the model when she was coming forward, and it's gonna sound so silly, but I feel like my heart kind of just, you know, like I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. This was what we've been waiting for. Well, at least I have been, you know? So I saw it and I was just like, oh my goodness, it's a monogram Speedy with black trim. Yes, yes, I'm thinking. And then as soon as the model turns, it looked like there were, I think it's vernis, like a vernis detail on the canvas. I mean, I could be wrong, but then she turned, I was just thinking, oh. So it is the Speedy with the monogram and the black trim, but it does have vernis, I think, vernis detail or some other detail going on the canvas itself. So I'm just waiting for a plain monogram Speedy with the black trim, or a Neverfull. I feel like we're getting closer and closer. I really do. Don't you think that? You know, they end up introducing things little by little, little by little. I really think that maybe next year, hopefully Louis Vuitton, if you're listening, that's something that you'll end up doing, because it would just be phenomenal. But I did also want to share that there is a Mon Mono patch collection that's going to come out or going to release later this year. I'm not sure as to when it will release. I have only seen pictures, but the picture that I did see is a Speedy with black trim, black leather, and it has patches, kind of like the World Tour, because when I talked to my sales associate, she said that the World Tour was so incredibly popular. Everyone went crazy for it. And usually patches aren't for me. But the difference is that with this one, like I said, it's kind of like a Mon Mono because you can hand select which patches you put on the bag. So like I said, I don't know if it's just going to be a Speedy. I don't know what other kinds of models there's going to be. I have no idea when they're going to be released. I haven't gotten much more information, but as soon as I do, I promise I will let you guys know. But I am absolutely stoked because like I said, I'm not too crazy about patches, but the fact that I can personalize it the way I would like to, and from the picture, it seemed like there was a ton of patches that you can choose from. So I don't know, but I just thought I'd pass that along. I'm not trying to start any rumors by any means whatsoever, but I just want to let you know what I heard. So I'm excited for that. Like I said, we're getting closer and closer. All right, next question from Marissa Velasquez. Hopefully I said that correctly. I don't know what's going on with my throat. I was gifted a Speedy 35 monogram and I love it, but I recently got a job to where I'm able to afford another purse. The one that I'm looking at is a Speedy 35 Bandolier and Damier Ben. Should I save my money or get the bag? Great question. And you know, even though, okay, so you have a Speedy 35 in Monogram and you're looking at the Speedy 35 in Bandolier, even though they're both Speedies, even though they're both 35s, the fact that you are looking to get a Bandolier and Damier Ben and you already have the Monogram, I think that'll end up adding a lot of variety to your collection because, you know, I absolutely love having just classic Speedies, but I also 100% appreciate my Speedy Bandolier, and I really end up gravitating towards it quite often because it's so versatile. So not only will it add variety to your collection, it'll also add a type of versatility that you're looking for, so that if you want to go for the Bandolier, then, you know, if at any point in time you could just take off the strap and then you can convert it into kind of like a classic Speedy. So personally, I would say go for it. If it makes your heart sing, absolutely, why not? Then you have the best of both worlds. But it's all a matter of whatever makes your heart sing. But hopefully that was able to help. All right, next question from Veronica Khan. Hopefully I said that correctly. I totally want to buy the Favorite MM and Damier Ben, but every time I'm ready to buy it, there is a voice in my head telling me, no, don't buy it. You will get the indentation due to the magnetic closure. It is unavoidable. So I'm asking for your help and advice. Is it true that the indentation is unavoidable in the Favorite MM, or can one avoid it, possibly by being careful when opening the bag? This is a wonderful question, and I know I've seen quite a few people discuss this on YouTube, on different forums. The Favorite, because of the magnetic closure and the way that it's kind of like the flap opening, it kind of tends to have a little bit of an indentation. Some bags seem to have the indentation a little bit more noticeable than others. But to me, from what I've kind of gathered, you know, especially when I look at people doing like a wear and tear or what's in my bag video, some of them, like I said, are super, super noticeable. And others, you would think that the bag is, you know, brand new because it has, you know, no sign of any type of indentation. But anywho, I feel that because of the way that the magnet is, because of how it ends up closing on the bag, personally, I feel that it might end up being unavoidable regardless. I think that it's kind of a characteristic, a natural characteristic, a normal characteristic of the bag, kind of like the Speedy has a sag. So, you know, like I said, it's one of those things that I think happens to it. I would have to advise that, that possibly the best way to try to prolong the indentation from happening would be to make sure that the bag is stuffed when not in use. Because I feel that if you end up stuffing the bag when it's not in use, it'll end up helping it retain its shape a little bit better. I'm not saying that it'll completely, avoid it from happening. I'm not saying that at all, but I think that it might end up helping if you end up doing it, over time or as you end up transitioning through handbags. But I would really like to ask your guys' opinion. I don't have a Favorite MM in my collection. I'm sure many of you have heard about the indentation. issue going on. So let us know in the comment section down below what you end up doing to make sure that the bag keeps its shape a little bit better so that you don't end up having that happen. I would be really curious to know, and I know that I would absolutely love to help Veronica, and that way if she's thinking about getting it, then she can either move forward with a purchase or just completely hold off on it. But like I said, I feel that maybe stuffing it might be the best thing. But hopefully we get some answers. But thank you so much for the question, and hopefully I was able to help just a tad. All right, next question from Sally H. Just wondering why you chose the monogram for your new pochette. Just thought you were going to unbox the Ebene. So here I have again the pochette accessoire in the monogram canvas. You have no idea how excited I am about this bag being back in my collection. Okay, so the main reason why I ended up choosing the monogram, even though I am a huge fan of Demi Ben, a lot of you know that, when I see the red interior, it makes me smile from ear to ear. It makes my heart sing. I feel like I don't know. I love Demi Ben for that reason. But the main reason why I opted to go for monogram is because I do have quite a bit of lighter colored small leather goods, and I definitely wanted to avoid having any type of color transfer on those small leather goods from the beautiful bright red interior of the Demi Ben pochette. And I have had that happen before. I had a Speedy 35 Demi Ben Classic Speedy, and I was using my cosmetic pouch Azure, and I ended up getting because of the azure and then the red interior, I ended up getting kind of like a color transfer on it, and it ended up being pink. There's nothing that I could do to remove it. It just kind of, I feel like the red is so highly saturated that it really ends up rubbing up on other items very easily and very quickly, because I think I had it in there for a few hours, if that. It wasn't even like a full day, and then I remember noticing it, and I just kind of kicked myself for thinking, you know better, why did I do this, you know? So that's the main reason why I ended opting for this one, just because the textile interior that it has is kind of a little bit more user-friendly with every other type of small leather good that I have in my collection. So hopefully that was able to help. But I will have to say that the thing that I appreciate the most about Demi Ben is that you don't have to worry about any type of patina. You don't have to worry about anything like that. So unfortunately, I did not go for that one, but great question. Last question from Mary Elizabeth Silva. I currently have a Speedy B25 in monogram. I had a classic 30 in Demi Ben, but sold it in the hopes of replacing my Speedy Demi Ben with a 25 Bandolier. I'm starting to think that maybe I should be getting the Neverfull, a bag on my wish list, in Demi Ben, since I already have the Speedy B25. My plan was to have the Speedy B Trifecta, but I'm going back and forth. Love this question, and I love trifectas. I have kind of two of them in my collection, and I understand them. There's a lot of people out there that don't, you know, they're just like, why would you get the same bag, you know, same type of detail in different prints? But I completely understand it, because while they might have similar details, they add so much. It's a variety in its own, and it adds just an overall look to your outfit. You know what I mean? So I love trifectas for that reason. Now, if the trifecta ends up making your heart sing, then I would definitely end up going for that. If it's something that you've been wanting to do, if it just makes you happy thinking about it, then I would follow your heart. But if you wanted to, by adding the Neverfull in the Demi Ben canvas, I feel that even though the Speedies add versatility to your collection, because of the bandolier, you can end up using it crossbody, you can use it on your shoulder, you can take off the strap and use it as a classic. By adding a Neverfull, it would really add a lot more variety to your collection. And I feel that because it's a tote, it'll be, you know, it's a great bag that you can use for travel, you can use it for, a lot of people use it for the gym, you can use it as a beach bag. There's just so many things that you can use this bag for. So it also has versatility on its, you know, on its own. And the Demi Ben, I will have to say just one thing to keep in the back of your mind is that if you end up going for this print, because of the leather, because it's treated, it ends up being a little bit stiffer, so it might be a little bit more noticeable on your shoulder. It might end up digging into your shoulder a little bit. Some people don't experience this. I have, but I still love the bag. I absolutely love the bag because of the print, and then again, that red interior, my goodness. Like I said, the red just makes me so happy. So again, if you want to add a little bit of versatility to your collection, then I would go for the Demi Ben Neverfull. They are all classic bags, whether you go for another Speedy Bee, whether you go for the Neverfull. I think that they're all just fantastic bags, and you know, perfect to add to any collection at any point in time, but it's all a matter of whatever makes your heart sing the loudest. So hopefully that was able to help. All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it. You guys had some amazing questions, and yeah, I get a lot of questions as to how you ask questions on Minks Monday, and if you could put them on the most recent one, it makes it a lot easier for me to go through the comments so I can choose the questions. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And this week's lineup, I have a What's in My Bag video. I have a collection video that I've been meaning to film. I've been getting a few questions on it, and then I have another surprise video probably on Thursday. I'm gonna try to do it on Thursday. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on that red button down below and hitting that bell so you are notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 videos a week, sometimes 4, sometimes 2. It's all a matter of what's going on. And I feel like I was kind of all over the place on this video. I feel like I was super giddy. I don't know why, but I think it's because I'm starting to feel a lot more like my old self, and that just makes me super happy. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna stop talking. I'm rambling at this point, but I will see you all tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.